let's bring in CNN Global Affairs analyst Kimberly Dozier so we can better understand the dynamic going on here. So we just heard President Trump float this idea of withholding aid to countries that won't take in Palestinians. But is there any amount of pressure that he can put on Jordan or even Egypt to get them to take potentially millions of people?
No, this is existential for them. And what Arab officials that I've spoken to believe is that the Israelis and certain right-wing members of the Jewish and Christian community have gotten to Trump, but that it is now their time to educate Trump that moving those Palestinians out of Gaza would be equivalent to another 1948 Nakba, the catastrophe as the Palestinians call it. It is something that could trigger not only all 2 million Palestinians joining Hamas and fighting against Israel, whereas right now, not all Gazans support Hamas, but that it could also potentially trigger a regional third intifada, third uprising, because so many Arab and Muslim populations are furious over what they've seen in Gaza. And if any of their leaders agree to expelling Gazans from that area, they will rise up against their own leaders, especially King Abdullah, who has so many Palestinian refugees in his country. Some estimates say half, but it's at least 2 to 3 million out of an 11 million population. So yes, Jordan gets aid from the U.S., but the king's got to stay on the throne to use it.
And Trump has said he wants to bring the Middle East together, potentially stabilize, normalize, I should say, relations between Arab countries and Israel, particularly Saudi Arabia and Israel. Does this Gaza plan jeopardize that? Because we know Saudi Arabia has been pretty outspoken about that too.
Absolutely. For the Saudis, this is a non-starter. For Jordan, for anyone I've spoken to, Trump wants to get a Nobel Peace Prize for expanding the Abraham Accords, for bringing peace to the region. So rather than criticizing him publicly, what they have been trying to do is come up with ideas that they'll present to him as, you know, if you want to expand the Abraham Accords, here's an alternative, but the Palestinians have to stay in Gaza. Here's what we'll pay for. Here's what we'll fund, but there has to be a two-state solution. And they'll also gently present him with the alternative, again, privately, that current members of the Abraham Accord, Morocco, the UAE, Bahrain, might even have to pull out of the accord as opposed to expanding it because of this Gaza plan.
All right, Kimberly Dozier, thank you so much.